Let me just go live everywhere else and we will get started. Hello. I hope everybody is having a good weekend. And I really wanted to just pop on air and pop online and just see, and just like kind of like breaking down what happened. And we're going to talk about Silicon Valley Bank collapse that happened on Friday, and how it affects like tech market and tech industry right now as we speak, and what to expect. And give me really like quick second here. I just need to. I forgot to connect my mic on for my Instagram fans. So as people are joining, I hope I hope everybody can hear me well. Basically, what happened? Basically, what happened? Silicon Valley Bank uh, collapsed on Friday. So, what is a Silicon Valley Bank? If you didn't know, Silicon Valley Bank was a bank specifically designed and specifically serving startup companies. So it was ideal financial. I don't know if it was ideal, but it was a really good financial instrument for new startups, and a lot of startups had money in Silicon Valley Bank. So like that's the thing. So Ian, on Friday, there was an announcement that Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, and why Silicon Valley Bank collapsed. So in short, how like what I read from the news, like and what information I gathered so far, basically the Silicon Valley Bank encountered a classic run on the bank kind of scenario. So in more details, it's a little bit more interesting. So there are many forces and there are many reasons why it happened. The first thing reason that why it happened is that Federal Reserve started to rising interest for the loan. So the Federal Reserve started increasing interest rate for the loan. So what happened to tame the inflation? To tame the inflation. And by the way, the fact that Federal Reserve started to increase the interest rates, this is one of the core keys for turbulences in tech industry. So what the reason that one of the reasons turbulence in tech industry is that Federal Reserve Bank started increasing interest for the loan uh, to tame the inflation. And this is one of the this is one of the keys why tech industry is having such a turbulent time right now. And that was one of the contributing facts why Silicon Valley Bank failed or collapsed. Another reason is that startups started withdraw their money from the bank. So basically, a lot of startups, and like Silicon Valley Bank, it is a bank that focuses on startups, and basically a lot of startups started to withdraw money from the banks. So on for this live, if you're watching me on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, um, you're gonna see the links in the description. So if you want to dive deep, if you want to dive deep, so like you can definitely look at each article and see more detailed explanation, because I'm not a banker. I'm not a banker. So like banking industry and financial industry is not my specialty, but you can dive definitely more deeper. Um, so basically what was happening it's basically in alignment what was happening in the tech industry recently in general. So like we know that we had a lot of layoffs this year in tech, right? So basically what was happening before, money was basically free. So money was basically free, low interest rates or almost no interest rates, and money like the cash was flowing pretty freely. The pandemic money, so we had a lot of pandemic money, or a lot of companies had pandemic money, and they invested in and they started to invest those money into projects that were specifically dedicated to the pandemic itself, or like projects dedicated to pandemic rather. So and now when we're bouncing back to normal, and now like and like the when the economy is changing and the behavior of user changing, so like we don't have that, or we don't have the pandemic money. B, the products and business strategy that was oriented for the pandemic itself uh, didn't quite work. It's not working out as well in this economy, or like how users are behaving right now. So like again, this is number two. And Silicon Valley Bank collapse. I mean, yeah, like it happened on Friday, but there were talks earlier, and a lot of venture capital investors were advising. Like one of the articles said that a lot of venture capital investors were advising their project startups to start moving their money somewhere else from Silicon Valley Bank. So basically, what is happening right now? Startups that have money in Silicon Valley Bank having like the first problem is the payroll. So payroll is on suspense. So like if for the startups that have like vast majority of their financial invested in Silicon Valley Bank, so payrolls. So basically, the situation is still developing. The situation is still developing. Of Friday, people did not get their paychecks, or some like a lot of people. Some of the people did not get their paychecks. So that's the first. The second. How it's going to turn out, we don't know, because the situation is still developing. How it's going to rule out, like we just have to wait on for Monday. We just have to wait for further development, right? So, and there's going to be a lot of news, and there's going to be a lot of articles and a lot of noise online, but basically like you can follow those news. And it's definitely a heavy hit for a lot of startups, for those startups who were heavily invested in Silicon Valley Bank, and it's definitely a hit for startups. So, should we expect more layoffs? Like, I don't. Again, at this point, I don't know. But like, if Silicon Valley Bank was the only investment and there was no other option, so maybe maybe not. So like it's hard to tell. So everybody right now, like it's really an American situation, but like really what I wanted to do on my platform is to keep you informed. And I don't think there is a reason to panic. Like I don't think there is a reason to panic. Why? Because I mean, everybody's situation is different, but like it's more importantly to realize that um, it's more important to realize that times in tech will change, right? Times in tech will always change. So we have good years, and we might have not such good years. But another factor to realize that the tech industry, it's such a unique industry that it penetrates all other industries. So tech is in healthcare, tech is in sales and e-commerce and stuff like that. Sales, um, um, tech is like literally everywhere. So tech is in pharmaceutical companies. Tech is like I don't know, electric companies, like whatever. And what it means for tech industry and what it means for people who are trying to break into tech is that maybe like one of the techniques that you can use is to like change your focus. Instead of focusing on tech industry as an industry in general, And it's really important also to focus which industry is doing well, which industry is doing well. So is it health industry? Is it like e-commerce? Is it like other industries are doing well? So in those industries that are doing well, they still need your tech. They still need your tech. There are companies that are still doing okay, and they still need tech workers. And you can change your attention and you can change your energy into following those companies, because like those companies are still hiring. So like if a company needs an iOS developer, they need an iOS developer. If they need like a web developer, they need web developer. They need people who will build a product for them. So um, and it's really like it would be a good investment to um, follow those companies and apply for those companies. So is it a good time to start with a startup? It depends. It depends. Like first of all, let me tell you, let me say this: getting into startup, getting into a startup, and it has always been a risk, because with the startup you will get rapid growth as a professional, because like you will learn really quickly to do everything. And if a startup is well founded, you can also make really good money really quickly, and the interview process might be easier for startups. So like, if you're breaking into tech industry, if you're looking for your first job, or if you're looking for your first breakthrough, startup can be your chance to get in the tech industry. But um, if you are an established professional, like should you invest in a startup? I think it depends. I think it's really important to do your homework. And I think it's important to follow the history of the startup, to talk to people at that startup, to see like where they're at financially, and to see like what they're, as for their business model, as their few as companies ask you, what is your future for the next 5 years or for the next 10 years? You should ask that question to that company as well. What is your future, especially right now? And it's really important for you, like when you go in a job interview, to do that analysis and to have that conversation with like any employer that you're interviewing for, because you are interviewing your employer as much as they're interviewing you. So second, um, when we have turbulent times in tech, it is really important to, first of all, stay ready. Like if you have not updated your resume, if you have not updated your resume, do it right now. Like after this live stream, literally go and update your resume. And this is the first thing that you can do. This is the first thing that you should do. Like go ahead and update your resume. And doesn't mean that you're gonna go in the job market, and doesn't mean that that you're going to start to look for another job. No, like you should stay ready, because look, when things like layoffs happen, um, the worst thing that you want to do is to get ready for the job interviews, is to get ready for uh, um, to get ready your resume, because you're going to work on a different pace, in a different pace. You're going to work in emergency um, in the emergency state, because like you need to land a job right now, and you need to figure out your financial situation right now. So like the best thing that you can do, while you're doing well, get your resume ready. Another thing that you can do is to analyze your specialty. Where is your specialty? Like where is your specialty? And one of the things that like important to consider, that a lot of companies, when they have limited resources, they will go for absolute necessary specialty and absolute necessary technology. Right? Let me say it again. Companies, when there's financial scarcity, when there is limited resources, companies will go for the absolute necessary technology. So meaning like your mobile developers, like if they have a mobile product, if their product is suitable for mobile, like mobile developers, web developers, and mobile development or web development is not going to happen without backend and backend. So basically, specialties that can create something out of nothing, specialties that can create product are going to be in demand. Helping specialties or supporting specialties may might be on the back burner because when the company is ready financially, when the company has more mature product, they're going to start thinking about hiring QA and hiring other helping professionals. So if you are in those helping professional professions or specialties like I don't know, like QA engineer, on test automation engineer, it's I honestly, and this is that was my thought process when I was transitioning. Where are you gonna see your where are you gonna see your specialty fit right now? Because I just had a conversation with one person. She's a QA engineer that there are companies that are reducing hours for QA engineers. For example, like one company is reducing hours for their contractors. Let me put it this way. I don't want to make a generalized statement that all companies are doing that. So one company is reducing hours for contractors. So that's one thing. And I'm not saying that QA are going to be under the hit right now. The only QA will be under the hit right now. I'm not saying that, but again, companies will focus their resources and their attention to the specialties that make sense, to the specialties that will make them money, to the specialties that will make them product that will make them money. So, and when they're in a better state, they will focus on everything else and such as improve better improve infrastructure, like test automation, like QA, stuff like that. So first things first, deliver to the product, build their product, and maintain their product and sell their product. So that's their first priority. And in my opinion, I think if you are in a specialty that can create a product, that can create software, you're in a little bit better position than the rest, than other specialties, because even though when there's a really tough times in tech, you might everybody is going to have a hard time, but because you can create a product, you're going to be in a better situation. Another thing that I want to point out for my iOS developers, web developers, people who can create something out of nothing. We can't stay stagnant. We can't stay stagnant. We have to improve our skills, especially when there's there's a higher there's when there are more people on the market looking for the same job. So it's important to work on your skill. It's important to sharpen your skill, and it's important to craft, improve your craft and work on your craft. So stay up to date with your technology, improve your skill set. If you're an iOS developer and if you still don't know Swift UI, I think it's about that time when you sit down with Swift UI and learn Swift UI. So that's kind of the news that and let me read your comments. Oh no, I don't play Bug Pay. Yeah, Jonathan. It's I'm live on Instagram as well, and I do it from my phone. For real, because that thing can happen. Nobody really could see it happen for a long time, but it happened, and life happens. So but to kind of wrap it up, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions or any thoughts? I know there are a few people are watching, so if you have any question, if you have any question or any thoughts, please share it with me. So please let me know what you think. Because it's a big news in the tech industry, because Silicon Valley Bank was the bank for startups. It was the bank, go-to bank, and So because of the interest was like for like Federal Reserve increased the rates for the loans, and because a lot of a lot of customers, a lot of startups were withdrawing their money from the bank, so bank as a result bank collapsed. So and the startups that still have money in the bank, like they like as of right now they're having like problems with the payroll. So like if you have any thoughts or any questions, like please let me know. And yeah, like before I wrap up, so I was talking about like your career, like your further career development. Um, you can go to the description of my video if you wanna um, dive into like iOS development. I have a program for that, so like you can either check out the free course or like schedule an appointment with me, but and like see if it is a good fit. But like really like today on today's stream, I really wanted to hop on here and basically tell you what happened, because like it's a big news, and like it's a big deal in tech industry. So like I read it yesterday. I read it yesterday afternoon, but I was kind of processing it and was kind of reading a lot of other articles. I was reading about it, and I was seeing what people are saying. So because I didn't want to just like show up here like unprepared and without any other further information. So that this is about it. Like, thank you so much for hopping on my live stream. Um, and yeah, like definitely if you're watching on the replay, um, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know your thoughts. And I really hope like that my audience, that my people who follow me, that y'all not affected by this, that your company that you're working at is not affected by this. I really hope not. I really hope not, because listen, I think we had a lot of we had enough layoffs, and um, on the positive side, like let me just finish strong. Let me just finish on the positive side. I was talking to a recruiter when yesterday or the day before. Like I like to network with a lot of professionals, and I usually ask, what do they see? Because like I'm not on the job market. I'm not looking for a job right now. I'm in a good place. But like I because I like I'm in the community, and I would like to let you know what's going on. So like, and what the recruiter said, that she was seeing a lot more roles for mobile engineers, for iOS developers, and that there are more contract roles. And this is not surprising. This is what I said in January, that like yeah, when tech is going through difficult times, like fewer companies will be open and ready for full-time roles, but there will be contract roles. And when you work with like agencies, like I don't know, like any big recruiting agencies, you basically it's basically like a full time. They might even provide you benefits such as health insurance and stuff like that, and you on the payroll, and you on W-2, so your taxes are taken care of. But like we see a lot of more contracts for sure. And the roles are increasing. So like this is a good sign. This is a good sign. And I think, at the end of the day, and it's not going to be like this forever. The industry is going to shake it up. The industry is going to balance itself out. And at the end of the day, like I believe that there is a brighter future for tech. I seriously believe that. If I didn't believe it, I wouldn't be here. If I didn't believe it, I would close my tech channel. I would close my tech Instagram, and I would just like, you know what? Let me focus on something else. So, but I do believe in tech because tech is everywhere. And um, my first job in tech was not in the in tech company. Like it was moving company. So a moving company, guess what? They use tech. And tech has improved, and mobile tech and mobile technology has improved too. My second company was a loyalty company. Again, not a tech company necessarily. It's not their specialty, but they're specialized in loyalty. My like the company after that, it was Alaska Airlines. Again, not tech company, but like a lot of airlines, they do need mobile developers. I'm done for these news updates. Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. And after that, I was working for a healthcare company. So, like, again, healthcare company, not necessarily like, I mean, it was kind of like a tech startup company, but like in the healthcare space. Again, not necessarily tech company, but in healthcare. So, like, and this is what we're gonna like. This is kind of what we're gonna see. So, like, in I think it's a good idea to refocus. If you were oriented on big companies, if you were oriented on big names such as Google, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and stuff like that, I think it would be a good thing to refocus on other industries like that out there and other companies that are hiring like as well. So, like I think it would be a good I think it would be a good thing to invest. So, and you know what, if you do want to work for a big company, if you do want to work for Amazon, if you do want to work for Apple, Google, you name it, like, just wait for a little bit, because it's going to balance itself out and they're going to start hiring again. So, um, it's not going to be like this forever. It's not going to be like this forever. We're going to figure it out. And I believe the tech is going to be better because of it. So we just have to tough it out. We just have to tough it out. And like, the best thing that you can do is to improve your skill set. Think about your career perspective, and if your specialty is not bringing you those perspectives that you want, that perspective that you need, like, change specialty. I change specialty. Like, it's like everything in tech is not that easy, but it can be done. Like, switching your specialty, like learning iOS development, learning web development, learning specialty that can actually produce a product, it can be done. You just need to sit down and learn it. Like, that's it, and practice it, and find a way to market yourself. And like, I can help you out with that if you're looking to get into iOS development. So I can totally help you out with that. So, but thank you so much. Today is Saturday. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Thank you so much for coming to my live stream. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.